Hello there, this is James and you're watching Tixee Live. And a very good morning to all of you, and all of you a very happy Wednesday. It is Wednesday, isn't it? Yes, happy Wednesday. In today's program, I want to discuss more drama with the Musk Twitter deal and a surprised U-turn on that, plus how the energy market is waiting with bated breath about the OPEC meeting happening today, and a speech by a certain prime minister also happening today. And a couple of things about the market, how the market is praying for a pivot. But before we get into all of that, don't forget, these little videos are for educational purposes only, and in no way whatsoever should be taken as financial advice. I always suggest you do your own research, do your own due diligence, and of course, know the risks at hand before entering any trade. With that out of the way, let's get started. So today, well, actually this week in particular, does sort of feel like a week of U-turns. Because don't forget, we had the UK government suddenly decide that they're not going to proceed with cutting the higher rate of income tax. And today, or actually last night, we had Elon Musk has had a change of heart and has changed his mind and agrees to move forward with his purchase of Twitter for $44 billion. Now, surprisingly, this change of heart, so to speak, or about face, is happened just 2 days before Twitter's lawyers are going to issue him with a lawsuit. In a letter, which is a bit of a surprise, convenient timing, I think. And in a letter, Musk said he agrees to go through with the original deal, funds permitting, and if the legal case is dropped. When I'm talking about funds, he's securing the rest of the funds. Remember, he's buying it for $44 billion. He has got $12.5 billion coming from Morgan Stanley. Was it JP Morgan? Sorry. So with part of the deal. So saying he's committed as long as he can get those funds he agreed for initially on the deal. Now, unsurprisingly, on the back of this, Twitter share price surged by 22% by the end of trading. Let's have a quick look at Twitter right now. And you see, on the back of this, like I say, Twitter has had a pretty rough time recently with this whole drama with Musk and the drama about that, the drop in, obviously, advertising revenue, the controversy about bots. But anyway, on the back of this news, as you can see, Twitter surged and actually was trading around $42.90. On the back of this, it closed around $51.78. So it'll be interesting to see how Twitter reacts with the US Open. Do I think the drama with Musk and Twitter is over? No chance. I think this is just, again, another chapter in a very dramatic ongoing story. In other news, energy markets is waiting with bated breath today for OPEC's meeting. They're meeting in Vienna at around about 9 a.m. UTC. Now, they are there to discuss production cuts, reducing production to stable oil prices. Because don't forget, before obviously a couple of months back, oil was trading around $120 a barrel. And it's then since, because of concerns of recession and demand waning, it's now fallen. So there is concerns that they may cut productions quite dramatically. Don't forget, they're already missing the current quota already. Now, the US is actually pushing OPEC to continue with its current production to prevent an increase in gasoline prices. However, there is rumors that OPEC Plus could decide to cut production by as much as 2 million barrels per day. And that's all we need, isn't it? Let's have a quick look at oil as well, as we're talking about it. So, yeah, as you can see, oil has had a bit of a surge on the back of this meeting in anticipation of a further cut in production. It's currently trading at the moment at $85.85. If they do 2 million barrels, do a cut of production, 2 million barrels per day, we could see initially buy the rumor and sell the facts. But then again, we could then also see the oil prices start to surge higher. Brent is the similar story as well. That has had a boost on the back of that, currently trading now at $91.35. So What else is happening? Oh, yes, trust in me. Liz Truss, the UK Prime Minister, is going to make her first speech today at the Conservative Party conference in Birmingham as party leader. Now, she has said a few things already. She said, and I quote her, disruption will be worth it. She's obviously talking about how the markets reacted last week to obviously her mini budget and the collapse of the bond market and the sterling because of that. She also says, not everyone will be in favor, but everyone will benefit from the result, a growing economy and a better future. So we'll have to see what she actually, indeed, what she says, and more importantly, how the market reacts to it. Because don't forget, the sterling in particular, and we'll have a look at the sterling as well in a bit, has been incredibly vulnerable to what's happened in UK politics over the last couple of weeks. Obviously, the mini budget put so much pressure on the sterling and the UK bond market and really spooked the market considerably. So if she was to say something else underlining her commitment to do this without proof that the UK can afford to do what she's saying they want to do, then we could see the sterling come under more pressure as well. Anyway, moving on from that. The markets currently is a bit more cautious than it has been over the last 2 days. It's still very much living on a prayer. However, on slightly good news, the S&P has had its best 2-day rally since March 2020. It's calmed down a little bit since then, like I said, because the market is acting pretty cautiously because they're praying of a pivot by the Fed. As I said yesterday, I think any Fed pivot is going to be very, very unlikely. But we have got some key data which could then give that hope of a pivot more sort of like energy and more drive. And that is a US ADP employment change due today at 12:15 p.m. UTC. Expectation is to show a growth in job numbers of 200,000. The previous reading was 132,000. Now, don't forget, ADP is the auto data processing, okay? And many people look at the ADP, even though I don't really see a connection between the two, but many people look at the ADP as an early indicator of what the NFP number could be, which is happening on Friday. So this could give, again, if it has a bad number or a negative number, then again, it could give the market that little bit of hope that a Fed pivot is coming. As well as that today, we have ISM Services PMI due at 2 p.m. UTC. Don't forget, the market had that hope and had that rally at the beginning of the week because of ISM manufacturing PMI came in worse than expected. In fact, the reading was at a 2-year low. So if we get a poor figure on this, which is the expectation is 56, previous reading was 56.9, again, we could see the market have hope once again of a Fed pivot. Anyway, let's have a quick look at the market and look at some currency pairs and see how they're performing. Let's start off, of course, with the sterling, as we've got obviously Liz Truss speaking later today. It did have a bit of a rally on the back of that U-turn and obviously very weak dollar over the last couple of trading sessions. However, it can't break above that key level we put in, that pivot level we put in, 1.1464. So that continues to be an area of interest. If you look on a daily, though, it is trying to spike above that downtrend it was currently living on. It's not quite broken through convincingly enough for me at the moment, but as you can see, it's trying to gain strength. It'd be interesting to see how the market reacts today on back of that US data. Will we get hope? And how they react to what Truss says today. The euro, pretty much a similar picture as well. It's had 2 good trading days on the back of weak dollar. However, key area for me, though, it is just under parity. For me, though, to be convinced that we can get and stay above parity more convincingly, we need to break through the level of 1.0057. It currently trades at 0.9947. Key area of support potentially for me at the moment is 0.9870. If we have a look at the dollar yen as well, okay, currently pretty much sideways. Not quite challenging that area where the last time Bank of Japan intervened. That was 145.70. We're currently trading at 144.31. It's very range bound at the moment as it stands. So like I say, again, the balls there might try and test the BOJ's patience again and see if they intervene once again. Gold as well. Gold again has had 2 good days on the back of dollar weakness. Again, acting cautiously. Can't quite break through that key level, though, of $1,726.48. First area of support, potentially, though, I see, is $1,694. If we have a quick look at the S&P as well, like I said, 2 good trading days. Best rally since March 2020. However, acting very, very cautiously. Currently trading at 3,762 points. Key area resistance for me is potentially around 3,820 points. So yeah, other things to come this week, though. Big events again. Obviously, US ADP employment change, US ISM services PMI, which is today, EU retail sales, German retail sales, US unemployment rate, and US NFP. And the NFP, in my opinion, is the big event this week. If we do get a very negative reading on the NFP, bear in mind we've had a very good labor market and very good numbers over the last couple of releases, then the market will start believing that the Fed may pivot again. So anyway, because it's a big event, I will be doing a watch along for that event at 12:20 p.m. UTC on Friday. So please come and join me for that. European market, how it currently stands, slightly in the negative. FTSE negative 1.10%. DAX currently in the red, negative 0.74%. And Euro Stoxx 50 currently negative 0.69%. So that's how the market stands. Fairly cautious today. Interesting to see the turnaround from Musk. I think there's more drama to come with that story. I really do. It'll be interesting to see how that unfolds. Don't forget, you can ask me questions anytime you wish, or simply say hello if you like, or share with me your opinion. Do you think, what's the next drama going to be? Is Musk going to suddenly have a problem with the funds for the Twitter deal? Is he going to suddenly say, JP Morgan can't give me that 12.5 billion or something? I don't know. Who knows? I always think there's going to be more drama with that chap. I really do. But anyway, it's always an interesting story to talk about. And what do you think about the US data coming out today? I mean, do you see a connection between the US ADP and US NFP? It'd be interesting to see that services PMI as well. I mean, if we get close to 50 or maybe even under 50, then the market will really think that a Fed pivot is coming. But tell me, let me know what you think. What do you think about that? Not a problem. Don't forget, if you think of a question later, you can put it in the comments section, either on Facebook and YouTube. I will see them and I will reply to them next time I go live on air, which of course will be later today at 2 p.m. at UTC to cover the US session and to discuss any latest developments which have happened during the remainder of the European session. Anyway, if there is no questions, not a problem. Not a problem. Don't forget, if you're watching me on Facebook and you enjoyed this little video, hang on. There's a question. Anyone on news regarding a bank closing? No, not at the moment. That was the other story we were discussing on Monday. The potential rumors. Good question, by the way. Rumors of a major bank failing. Most people, or most part of the market, assumed it was Credit Suisse, which was under an awful lot of pressure. Their share price dropped by 10% on Monday. Since then, they've gone through a little bit of a restructure. And the news on that has died down a little bit. Any news about any other bank at the moment has gone quiet. So no developments on that at the moment. But good question. Thank you for that. Any other questions at all? Anybody else like to ask me anything? I think my aircon's gone off because I'm feeling really hot all of a sudden. Not a problem. Good question. Thank you for that. Not a problem. Don't forget, like I say, if you're watching me on Facebook and you enjoyed this little video, by all means, give us a follow. If you're watching me on YouTube and you enjoyed this little video, subscribe if you like. Hit the notification button so you know next time when I'm going live. If you enjoyed this video, found it interesting and useful, and you've put up with me, then give me one of these. It's nice to know that you like what I do. Anyway, till next time, don't forget, these little videos are for educational purposes only, and in no way whatsoever should ever be taken as financial advice. I always suggest you do your own research and do your due diligence, and of course, know the risks at hand before entering any trade. Till next time, every single one of you, trade safe.